writers. Today we're going to have a little review on how to write a how-to. So remember, when we're writing how to do something, we're giving those step-by-step directions and making sure our reader can follow them. So I'm in the middle of working on my project. I wrote first because I find it easier to type once I've done my writing and my thinking. And so I want to take a look at my writing as you prepare for yours. So when we are working on our how-to writing, we want to make sure that our directions are in order. Sometimes the order of our directions, they don't matter, but sometimes they're very important. And so I have actually highlighted my transition words and phrases for us to take a look at. So if you'll notice, the very first thing that I'm starting off with is the first thing my reader needs to do. So first, they need to heat the skillet, okay? And now notice that next thing that's highlighted is a phrase, while you're heating your skillet. So you're gonna get your skillet ready, and then while that's heating. So I'm even telling my reader that they need to do something at the same time, okay? And so then I'm using those transition words like then, next. So the order to my directions matters. We need to make sure we're doing things in the right order to make this grilled triple cheese sandwich. And then I do have a phrase down here, when the cheese is melting. Okay, so I'm letting my reader know that he's got to wait for something. So he's not just going to do first, next, then last. No, he has to wait for something. And sometimes our transition words, like, you could do it for 2 minutes, you could do it for 3 minutes, but I'm not sure how long it's going to be. So he's going to have to wait and for that cheese to be melting and that bottom slice to start turning golden brown. So I actually had a really long transition phase right here. All right. And then that's when I get to flip my sandwich. Okay. So the other thing I want us to take a look at also is the specific directions that I am using. So I have to make sure that I sound like an expert. I have to make sure that I am using the important vocabulary for my writing. And so right now, since we're writing recipes and we're becoming chefs, we need to make sure that we're using that type of vocabulary. So you can even notice that I wanted to make sure that I kept my vocabulary the same. Instead of saying a piece of bread, I wanted to keep it a slice of bread. So I'm keeping my vocabulary consistent during my writing. And I'm also talking about having a skillet. I didn't use pan, I used the word skillet. It makes me sound like more of an expert. I also used the word spatula down here. You're gonna need that spatula to flip over your sandwich. So while you're writing, I want you to make sure that you're sounding like an expert, that your directions are in the right order. So remember, if we have to, we can act them out. We can pretend like we have all of our materials and act it out while we're writing and while we're thinking aloud, okay? So on the next slide, you can use the link to help you get to your document so you can start writing your recipe for Mother's Day toast. Good luck, writers.